Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be giving you my Cancer February 2020 horoscope forecast, part 1 of 2. And yes, this does apply and pertain to the Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. Anyway, first thing up is as far as February goes, the Sun will be in Aquarius from the 1st until the 19th. So the 8th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, there could be a strong concentration of energy, focus, and attention on crisis-related matters, transformation, shared resources, emotional, monetary, moral support, even death, sometimes rebirth, regeneration, insurance, taxes, inheritance in some cases, and legacies. Now, given that this is Aquarius energy, a lot of this may be done with a lot of selflessness, especially in matters connected with shared resources, a sexual partner, someone you're in an intimate relationship with, a lot of selflessness, a lot of consideration. But also this may be done with a lot of unorthodox energy as well. It might be focusing on some kind of unusual transformation, or focusing even on an unusual sexual partner, or some kind of tax or insurance related matter. It could be a time too where this could be a very strong, given that, we're talking about 8th house and Aquarius energy, it might be some kind of focus on some kind of friendships, a friend that might be in a crisis situation, or it could even be or a lot of focus also on an unpredictable type of inheritance, or even that focus on an unusual type of, maybe, or some kind of a focus on an Aquarius type legacy you may want to leave, such as being considered humanitarian, selfless, ingenious, unorthodox, unconventional, and non-conforming, or even on an unorthodox sexual connection. It could be, anything that at this time, anything that could be Aquarius and 8th house related. Of course, there could be a strong concentration of energy, focus, and attention on. Now, in some cases, this could shine the light, so to speak, on an Aquarius surgical matter. It could be something connected with the ankles or the shins, as an example. So anyway, next thing up. As far as February goes, the Sun will be in Pisces from the 19th until the 29th. So the 9th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, there could be a strong concentration of energy, focus, and attention on in-laws, grandchildren, philosophy, religion, higher education, importing, exporting, in some cases, abstract thinking, going outside the box, so to speak, expanding horizons. It could be religious congregations, even publishing in some cases. Now, given that this is Piscean energy, this may be done with a lot of self-sacrificing energy, a lot of altruism, a lot of compassion and empathy. It could be a very empathetic energy as well. And also, it could be a lot of focus on forgiveness in connection with an in-law or a grandchild, or even a foreigner, maybe somebody you may know in some college. It could be someone that you may know well at a religious congregation or college, university. Now, this could also be focusing that attention, so to speak, on a Piscean type publishing related matter or higher education. It could be something connected like with poetry or dancing or photography, or something with special effects, illusion, something with the metaphysical, which includes astrology, or even spirituality, or something with oceanography, fishing, anything that could be Pisces related at this time. So anyway, well, the next thing up is there will be a full moon in Leo on February 9th. So the second house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, well, this could simply be about the completion or culmination of a Leo like money making endeavor or job. It could be doing something that might come to an end connected with cardiology or some work with children, something that involved creativity or something connected with performing or the arts. It could be like acting or being an actress or something in the entertainment world, circus performing, or so even working as some like a promoter for some product, like a product demonstrator, because Leo energy could be about boasting about an item or a product and flaunting its good qualities. I mean, and really emphasizing the good in something, bragging or boasting up, so to speak, the good qualities in an item. Now, this could also be about a time where one becomes tired, exasperated, or full of, so to speak, an overly extroverted, showy, attention-seeking, domineering, overly flamboyant or arrogant or egotistical. Might have been a person you may have valued for some time, or somebody that figured prominently in your resources, your possessions, the place where you generate income even. Now, full moons in astrology can also be about revelations and unveilings. This could be about a time where this could be about a revelation or unveiling of really of something really of a maybe some qualities of a person that you may have valued, or it could be over it could be somebody that might have figured prominently in your possessions or resources. It could be a person that might be overly extravagant or spending exorbitant money on frivolous things, somebody that's overly showy or attention seeking and glory seeking. Those are some things. Those are some ways this can manifest and pan out. And I mean, and it could also be about like the discovery of something that could be Leo related. That could be a possession. It could be an item that you might have spent a lot of money on, or some item that could be Leo related, such as something like with something that could be connected with the circus, or something from some entertainment venue, or even some game or something, some kind of video game or board game that maybe you lost and you uncovered at this time, because these, again, full moon energy could be about unveilings and revelations and could be discoveries. I see it as that. Anyway, next thing up. There will be a new moon in Pisces on February 23rd, so the ninth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, well, one way this may manifest, this could be about the start or beginning of some Pisces higher education course. It could be doing something connected with spirituality or the metaphysical, which includes astrology, poetry, dancing, photography, chemistry, oceanography, anesthesiology, anything that can be connected with Pisces, or even some kind of publishing venue. It could be something that you might begin, which could be publishing related, that's associated with Pisces, again, such as something with poetry or dancing or photography. It could be something associated with drugs or chemicals, or something that's connected with fantasy, something fantastical or fiction that requires the imagination, and even might even be something associated with self-sacrificing energy and altruism, and maybe even with dreams or the paranormal. Anything that could be Pisces related. Could also be a time where you might begin to, it could be rekindling a connection with an in-law or a grandchild, or that could be a Pisces sun, moon, or ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Pisces traits. Or even it could be the start, or it could be you might be welcoming a new grandchild. That could be a Pisces. I mean, if it's a new grandchild that's born at this time, of course it would be a Pisces sun and moon. So anyway, next thing up. Well, Mercury will be in Aquarius as far as February goes, from the 1st until the 3rd. So the 8th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, Well, one way this may manifest and pan out, this could be about communicating about some very unpredictable or unanticipated tax or insurance related matter. It could be where your mind is really thinking very outside the box, where it's really you're being thinking about your future as far as making a major change or transformation, or it could be some future in some eighth house related matters such as astrology or the occult, supernatural, or something with insurance or tax related matter. You might also be more considerate at this time in your communications with a sexual partner or someone you're in an intimate connection with, a shared resources situation, and speaking with a lot of clarity in a very clear and perspicacious manner as well, or even talking or communicating about Aquarius-like things with 8th house people, such as innovation, computers, electronics, astronomy, aerospace, even rocket science, innovation. Hold on a moment, people. And as I've stated in previous videos, Mercury can also be about siblings. This could be about Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Aquarius characteristics that might figure more prominently in crisis-related matters, making a major change or transformation, taxes, insurance matters. Some cases it could even be of something of a psychological nature, or even some matters associated with some kind of inheritance, or even moral, emotional, monetary support, shared resources situations. Now, if this is making a lot of, and whether they're more beneficial or to your detriment, a lot of this could be predicated and dependent on aspects that are made to points in your chart. A sextile or trine to your natal Jupiter, they might be actually very auspicious in these matters, but let's say an adverse aspect to your natal Saturn, it might be causing some loss or grief or sorrow or some limitation or restrictions in these areas. So anyway, next thing up. Well, Mercury will be in Pisces as far as February goes, from the 3rd until the 29th. So the 9th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, you might be talking about, it could be a communication regarding spirituality or things with the metaphysical, which include astrology or poetry or dancing, and anything Piscean related to paranormal. It could talking about these matters with grandchildren, with in-laws. That could be people that you may know at a college, university, or maybe with foreigners, or even, and also it could be about thinking very idealistically at this time about going outside the box, so to speak, about expanding your horizons and abstract thinking. Could also be about a time where you're really where you're about seeing the whole picture mentally, in terms of in-laws, grandchildren, 9th house people, foreigners, people that you may know that are in religion. It could be people that you may know in importing, exporting, or some college, university, or even in some publishing venue. Now, it could also be about writing something Pisces related that you intend on getting published. It could be something that could be connected with the metaphysical, which includes astrology, poetry, dancing, something with fiction or fantasy, writing about dreams or the paranormal, anything that could be Pisces related. So, and anyway, and also too, Mercury, as I've stated previously, can also be about siblings. This could be about Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant siblings, or simply ones that embody those traits that might figure more prominently with matters with in-laws, grandchildren, going outside the box, so to speak, expanding horizons, foreign travel, higher education, matters with publishing, and whether they're more to your detriment or more beneficial to you, a lot of that could be predicated and dependent on aspects that are made to points in your chart. A sextile or trine to your natal Jupiter, they may be more auspicious in those matters, but say an adverse aspect to your natal Saturn may be going in the other direction and might be causing some sorrow, grief, or some loss or limitation in those matters. So anyway, Well, next thing up, Venus will be in Pisces as far as February goes from the 1st until the 7th. So the ninth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time for you, Cancer, it could be a time where if you're unattached, you may connect with a Pisces sun, moon, or ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Piscean characteristics. It might be somebody you meet at a religious congregation or college, university, or even a foreigner, someone you meet through traveling abroad. It could be a person. I mean, this could also be a time where you're expressing sentiments of forgiveness and compassion toward in-laws, toward grandchildren, toward people that you may know at a religious congregation or college, university, or even it could be somebody you might meet through traveling abroad. It could be a time, too, where you may value altruism, compassion, imagination, and self-sacrifice in matters with in-laws, with grandchildren, with foreigners, people you meet through traveling abroad. And also, too, at this time, be careful at this time, Cancer, because when you're talking about Venus and Pisces energy, it could be a time when Venus and Pisces can manifest in a way where you might be more easily duped monetarily and financially, and more susceptible to financial deception and fraud. So be careful when you're hearing things. You're talking, foreigners, or it could be a time where you're say, or your dealings with your in-laws, your grandchildren. Just be very careful at this time. Somebody's telling you, they're going to do such and such, or pay you back at a certain amount of time, or I'm going to borrow this and I'm going to pay you back double what I actually borrowed from you. Just they're going to say they're going to pay you back double when there is in relation to what they borrow from you. Things of that nature, or even financial get-rich-quick schemes from ninth house people, such as foreigners, or someone you may know well at some college, university, or somebody you meet through traveling abroad, going to another country. Just be wary of this at this time, Cancer. Last but not least, Venus will be in Aries as far as February goes from the 7th until the 29th. So the 10th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, one way this may manifest and pan out for you, Cancer, if you are unattached, you may connect with an Aries sun, moon, or ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Aries characteristics. And it may be somebody that might help you in terms of your stature in life, your standing in the community, your social status, in terms of your career endeavors and attaining success. And again, could be an Aries sun, moon, or ascendant person, or one that embodies those traits. It could be a time where you might value aggression and assertiveness and courage in terms of trying to attain greater notoriety, recognition in your success in life, and making it to reach the pinnacle of success at this time. But careful that you're not valuing combat and fighting really when it's not necessary with 10th house people, such as the dominant parent, which is often the father, authority figures, people prominent in your career, your public image, and your reputation at this time. But this could also manifest in some cases in enjoying Aries related things with 10th house people. It could be such as the dominant parent, which is often the father, and people prominent in your career. It could be enjoying things like welding, or doing work connected with fire. I mean, it could be arson investigation in some isolated cases, or doing something combative like karate or boxing or judo or wrestling. Anything that could be Aries related at this time, or even an enjoyment in really in terms of standing up for others that are 10th house people. That could be, again, the dominant parent, which is often the father, people prominent in your career, your public image, your reputation, business people, older people, so in authority figures as well, perhaps. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for my Cancer February 2020 horoscope forecast, part 1 of 2. Stay tuned next time, where I'll be giving you my Cancer February 2020 horoscope forecast, part 2 of 2. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.